That's not.
About damn time, Ira.
It wasn't. Look, this is going to be an ongoing thing. Like, it's going to be our thing. Just completely fucked up technology, just not allowing us to do anything.
Yeah,
Let that just be a sign. Let that be a sign that the cosmos do not want to hear what the fuck we got to say.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I think everything is going against us as usual. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, man.
So what's up, man?
We can't wait for losing.
I did. We just talked. So me and Ira just spoke before. And, I'm thinking, like, we are going to get this nailed this week. This week's podcast is going to be totally nailed to the ground. Here I am. You wouldn't even believe what the last 10 minutes looked like for me. My hair is still wet. I just got out of the shower.
Oh, shit. Dude, you stuck your fucking finger in a light socket.
I know. Many people don't know about the hair situation, but there is a method to the madness here. I don't know if I want to tell everyone what's happening with the hair.
Look, lay it on us. Lay it on us.
Oh, you would like to know? Okay.
Oh, well, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Look, I remember you with very, very short hair. You never had this. This is all new.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know me for having long hair. So this has a lot to do with Whiteboard Worthy, and a lot to do with commitments that we make to ourselves. We all make commitments to ourselves. And we make like these deals like, hey, if you do this today, you'll get this tomorrow. We all do it. It's just how we like negotiate with ourselves. It's like, oh, I'll buy a motorcycle once I get a promotion. Great. You make that deal, right? Those are deals you make with yourself. So I made this deal with myself about my hair. And I'm just partly out of my mind, but I made this deal. If I can grow a man bun, right? I need to be able to grow a man bun by the time that Whiteboard Worthy is ready to launch. That is my way of telling myself, like, Ant, if you can commit to the man bun, if you can commit to the man bun, and it's small, but to me it's huge. If you can commit to the man bun by the time Whiteboard Worthy is ready to launch, you do have patience, and you can be exactly whoever the hell it is you want to be. Because I was like, maybe I have like a commitment issue. So like maybe I need to commit to these weird things throughout my days and see if I can stick with them. And here we are. The hair is here to stay.
Well, I mean, I definitely haven't gotten used to it yet. I'm still going to get used to it. And I'm still going to make fun of you until it's no longer fun. But I can see you're going the Ira way with the man bun. I love it. I love it.
Ira, I wish the hair was about you, but it's not. So don't flatter yourself.
I wish it was about me too. Like, that's my narcissist part coming out. You gotta make everything about me.
It's important to know yourself. I do appreciate that.
Hey, you already know I'm discovering myself every single day.
But aren't we all in like some way just like learning more about ourselves every day? Because like the person I was 5 years ago is not remotely close to who I am today.
Well, the person you were 2 years ago when we first met, very different person.
Very.
Well, a lot happened since then too.
But you have to evolve over time, man. You just have to. So
I definitely agree with that.
Ira, what are we talking about this week? What are we going to touch on? Give me like an overview. What we can expect.
Well, we can expect, the overview is simple. Goals. What are the steps to get to goals? What are goals, period? How do goals impact you? How do your goals impact it, everything around you, but also the failing to achieve a goal, and I think that's important that we need to touch on that aspect too. Like, is, in part, when we're constantly talking about positivity, there's always the polar opposite, which is negativity. And, when you fail at a goal, I do feel it's important to recognize that as much as we recognize the goals that we're trying to achieve.
So what is a goal to you? Like, what is like a typical Ira goal?
You sure you want that question?
Yes, I would love to know the answer. I mean, I'm sure I know the answer, but I want other people to know the answer. Like, what is it? What is a typical goal?
Well, here's the thing. My goals are very, very small. But my first goal every day is waking up. Once I've achieved that, next thing is my next goal is coffee. Like, literally, for me, every little small step is a goal for me. and I celebrate it within myself every single time. The reason being is because I'm grateful to be here, because I'm able to have breath to breathe, and I'm able to live a life. But the thing is, though, is I have the freedom to create these little goals, so I celebrate them every single time.
I
Because
love that.
I was gone for how long? Everything
Sure.
was stripped away. And in that process, you can set 5 million goals, but you're still stuck with a 5x8 cell.
So we'll touch more on that in a second. Is your phone sideways or is it upright?
It's sideways.
Yeah, because last week this looked different for me. I don't know why.
Well, I'm in a different spot in the house.
No. For me, it looks different. I don't give a shit where you are. I'm saying my screen looks very different than it did last week.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking at.
Did you get a new phone?
No new phone. I think
Did you
I've got
throw
the
this one?
latest. No, not
yet.
recently. Not recently. But I will tell you,
the last one.
yeah, that one we didn't. But so yeah, goals, man. And I like that, like small little goals every single day. I mean, look at the fucking hair. It just like does whatever. Every single day, these small little goals. So like you say, your first goal of the day is to wake up, which like, okay, that sounds like to someone that might be like bullshit, but like that's a huge task to do. Some people can't even get out of bed in the morning. Like they're so riddled with problems. So just to like wake up and get going, I think that is like, we can't take that for granted. Like that's something that we really need to hang our hat on. And I speak from experience with that, and I know you do. But that's really cool because those goals and things compound over time, and that's really important. And I'm sure that does something for a person's self-esteem when they're constantly hitting these goals. Like that must be great for a person's psyche, right? Like because if you don't hit those goals, the other side of that is you're gonna be pretty disappointed about certain things. Because for me, I'm like totally the opposite. I set these gigantic goals, and I'm like, because I'm just like, well, I probably won't hit them, but like I want to try my damnedest. Like the man bun. That's how long would it take me to grow a fucking man bun? It's
6 months.
It's things that I know that are going to really challenge me in a way that will, you start getting that pressure, right? That creates diamonds, and that's my thought process.
So let me backtrack a little bit. So you said you create these gigantic goals, right?
Yeah.
Now, with these gigantic goals, what's your process to getting there?
The process, I don't know that there's a blueprint. There is no blueprint to life, dude. There is no direct way. There is no fine print to achieve your goals. But it may sound cliche, but you have to fucking try. You have to actually try and try and try, because you're going to fucking seriously, like you are going to seriously fail so many times. And hopefully you learn from that, but that is the process. The process is fail your way to success, no matter what you do. If you're pursuing your MBA or whatever, if you're going to school or you're not going to school, you're going to have to fail your way to success. And you can't get in your own head, because you get in your own head, you're going to screw your own stuff up. You're going to be so messed up, because you're just going to be like, well, I'm not achieving anything. But you have to, it's all a head game, dude. It's all a head game when it comes to accomplishing anything. For me, and inside of the day, it's all a head game, because I think it's very easy to get inside of our heads and, and not accomplish anything, because we're so like trapped inside our heads. But there is no fine print to, or actual process to follow.
So, I mean, let me piggyback a little bit. This is where you and I differ greatly, because
Sure.
now when I have an overview of like this gigantic goal, right? Now, I don't focus on the goal whatsoever. Like if I already identified what the goal is, I forget completely about it, because the most important part to getting to that goal is the small steps that I'm going to have to take. And also, when you have the steps, you're going to basically come up on hurdles. And how are you going to overcome those hurdles? and get over them.
Sure.
And
of course.
this is where it's tying into what you were talking about with failure, because you have to fail to succeed, because those mistakes give you experience, and from that experience you're able to one step closer. And I do feel it's important to really plan out your small steps of what it's going to take, because when you have those small steps, you also got to create small steps for those small steps. And you're literally creating this compound thing, but really you're not planning to fail. You're planning to succeed. Even if you do fail in the process, you're going to succeed, because, all these small steps, they're there for a reason. They're there to move you forward. Even when you take 2 steps back, what you learn in that process will allow you to take 5 to 10 steps forward.
No, I couldn't agree more. You will certainly fail your way to success. That's the only way I've really figured it out. And by no stretch of the imagination am I anywhere where I want to be with life. There's so many things that I'm pursuing at the moment. But, I seen a quote a couple weeks ago. I'm sure I brought it up to a million people already, but I'll bring it up again. This quote really, this is the bread and butter. Don't compare yourself to who someone is today. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday.
Yes.
And I read that and I'm like, huh? I was like, I literally almost disintegrated.
It's funny that you said that, because I had just heard that same quote. And I can't remember if it was within the last couple of days. I can't remember who said it, and I know it wasn't you. But
no, it didn't come from me.
It was same fucking thing.
My
head
it was
fucking just blew.
Floored. Yeah, like totally fucking floored, because we live in an age, dude, where technology is like it is so past us. But we live in an age where content and pictures and videos and sounds and all of this, we are consuming so much inside of a day. It's really incredible to see. Like, you look at TikTok, like people can scroll on TikTok for hours. I could sit there for hours and
this guy, like, I get nothing done. I get nothing done.
Yeah. Like, I could sit there for hours.
I just sit there and freaking scroll. Same thing.
So my point is, you're on TikTok, and like for me, TikTok shows you what you like most. So you're going to see more of what you like. So for me, I follow a lot of business things and some stupid shit here and there. But I follow a lot of business stuff. And one day I was sitting there and I'm like, I don't have a Lamborghini. Like, I don't have a Ferrari. I don't have a Lamborghini. Like, I'm a piece of shit. I don't have a chance. This world is going to chew me up and spit me out. And I'm like a total fraud. Like, this is me sitting here on TikTok by myself, not talking to anyone. Nothing's right. Just totally mindless stuff. And then I watched a video with somebody that Will had recommended. Will recommended, yeah, go check him out, because he was on the Joe Rogan podcast. And he brought up that quote. And I was just like, that is so fucking true. We sit here every day and we compare ourselves to who other people are, when basically everyone else is at a different phase in life. We really just need to spend more time, and full circle with the goals. If we spend more time focusing on, are we marginally better than we were the day before, than instead comparing ourselves to a guy with a Lamborghini who already has 40 years in, right? I don't have 40 years in of busting my ass. What does 40 years look like for me or you or anyone that is, looking to achieve something? But it was a real eye opener for me, that quote, because I was like, we need to like get away from fucking worrying about what other people think about us and just doing what like we really feel good about.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. Doing what you feel like, what feels good to you, obviously isn't going to be the same emotion to, Joe Schmo that's sitting next to you.
No, I agree.
But the thing is, though, is like, there's still a process. There's always going to be a process. There's a process to, feeling that good feel.
Yeah, no, totally, man. I couldn't agree more. And I'm someone who's extremely driven, man. I don't see a lot, like, I see a lot of people like that because that's who I gravitate towards. You know, I want people that are like me and challenge me in some way. And that's stuff that makes me really interested. I gravitate towards those people. But I understand there's people that are fine. They're not pursuing changing the fucking world today, and it's not at the top of their to-do list. I get that. You know, like that is like I wake up in the morning, I'm like, how am I going to change the world today? I'm like, fucking no, man. Like just do something a little bit better than you did the day before, and you will have a fighting, like you will be in such a good position if you can do that for 10 years and think like that. Don't worry about the guy on TikTok with a Lamborghini. Worry about your ass yesterday and how you said you were going to read that book that you haven't gotten to.
Hey, Ed, so can I let you in on a little secret?
I love secrets.
You change the world every day.
Oh, you're watering my ego flower.
I mean,
How do
really
I
think about it.
how do I change the world every single day? Tell me, give me an example.
What you're doing right now, you're changing somebody's thought process, or you're challenging somebody's thought process. You're inspiring, or you are negatively inspiring somebody. But in the instance, you're changing something somewhere. So every day, you're changing the world.
Did I not get the memo on you trying to make me cry on the podcast? I didn't see it in my
No, not
email.
at all.
I'm just wondering.
I mean, look, it might have come through. It might not have. We'll have to check in with our secretaries. I have 5 secretaries.
Oh, yes.
They're very fuzzy. They're cat noodles.
Okay, my people will reach out to your people and find out about this whole changing the world
Well,
thing.
look, your people are going to need to learn how to speak ferret.
Okay. My people are humans. My
Mine
people
are not. We know this.
Fucking humans.
I don't deal with humans. I deal with you. I don't deal with humans. Unless I'm at work. But we got some comments.
Yeah, we do have some comments.
Yeah, I can't see them.
Vance and Kyle, 2 great guys. I mean, I went to high school with these guys. It looks like they're conversating a little bit. We can't keep up with that, but what's up, guys? Happy you guys could hop on and join us. But yeah, man, it's not lost on me that people don't wake up in the morning and think how to change the world. That's not at the top of their to-do list. And I do appreciate you saying we're making an impact, because it's not just me right now that's making an impact. It's also you. Yes. Because without you, it would literally be me sitting here rambling to myself, and it just wouldn't feel like it should feel, having someone who is totally on my frequency. And if it's anything I've learned throughout the last year, Ira, you need people that are going to be on your level, because and if you don't have people that are on your level, I promise you the world will fucking weed out the people that don't belong.
Yeah, well, I mean, my level is very complex because, I have my level of stupidity, and it took you a while to warm up to that stupidity, because you just used to be like, dude, get the fuck out of my face.
Well,
but also
serious.
At the same time, but then at the same time, there's the level where I'm serious. There's layers to a personality. There's just 5 million, but that's due to me being fucking retarded with mental illness.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in
some
a
people
way. Like, I accept who I am. I know I have these issues, embrace them, and I utilize them to the best of my ability.
One second,
I think
Ira,
I was losing
you
for a second.
Yeah, I was losing you. Did you lose me, or did I?
I'm losing
Did I lose you, or did you lose me? Okay.
It looks like it's both.
No, I turned off the Wi-Fi, so we should be in a better spot now. Please, what were you saying? You got all choppy. I thought I was losing my mind.
Well, I mean, I finished the thought, so our viewers probably got that. But let me recap just a little bit. There's many layers,
please,
to everybody's personality. To me, myself, I embrace who I am. I know I have issues.
Sure.
But at the same time, I don't allow those issues to turn me into somebody that I'm not. I'm very in touch with myself. I'm very in tune with the perception that I give off to people. And if people don't like me, I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck.
You know what, though? Let me stop you there. The perception that people have of you. I read it somewhere, but do you realize that your perception to people is different from anyone you know? No one person sees the exact. So, like, I see you in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
No one person is ever going to see you the way I see you. Ever. Ever. If I sat here and explained it to the point of nauseum, nobody could ever understand truly how I perceive you.
Okay.
You know? So I think that's really cool because, like, you're literally a different you're like a million different people and you don't even realize it. Like, you are truly a million different people.
I mean, to a million different
wild.
people, you're a million different people. You know, and, you know, there's the old adage, you know,
is that a play on
perception
words?
is reality. Remember this term? Perception is reality?
Oh, take the wheel. I hear that fucking phrase. I'm ready to run.
Yeah.
Perception is reality. That's scary.
Let's go into that though. What does perception is reality mean to you? What comes to mind?
Well, first and foremost, my prior employment at GNC, that phrase, for anyone that's curious, perception is reality, was something we threw around, and we didn't throw it around lightly. Okay.
No, we didn't.
But perception is truly reality, and you know, if you put out this vibe, people see it and they assume that is the reality of it. Like, if I sit here and drive a fucking Lamborghini every day and I flaunt my whatever, you know, my money, my watches, my whatever, you know, I will create this reality of me that is truly, it's totally fabricated, but I would create this reality of someone I'm not. And likewise, if you be who you are.
Let me stop you right there. Do you know what that's called? Social engineering. And that's a topic I was about to get into.
What is, please enlighten me. Now you've got my
social
attention.
Engineering. All right. So the definition of engineering is, you know, assembling something, putting together and making it work. Social meaning your own personal being. So you are going to mimic, or you're going to create or fabricate a reality or a perception of such. You know, one thing that you know, I created a narcissistic, larger than life character.
Yes.
And you know, the person that you know, but the person that other people are seeing, they're two very different people. You know, and that's different levels. That's social engineering.
That's very interesting. Where did you learn that?
Believe it or not, it was in a murder mystery book.
You're fucking weird.
Well, dude, when you do time, you have nothing but time, so therefore you read a lot of fucking books.
I spent some time away. I mean, I counted bricks on the wall, so it was a little different for me.
Okay. Oh, John Sanford. John Sanford wrote the book.
John Sanford. I feel like I know that name.
He had the Prey series, and it was one of the first ones. Like there was like 20 books to the series. And that, but I mean, the thing is though, is like, even though it's a fictitious novel, you know, you can still pull apart and take things from it. Well, one thing that I took from it was the social engineering. I mean, that completely blew my fucking mind. Like, just the term itself, social engineering. You know, and
it sounds powerful.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
It really does. But the thing is though, is if you look at, you know, what goes on today, where you have people catfishing online, or you have them creating the. Oh, absolutely. You know, then you have them creating fake pages, creating fake identities. That is all social engineering on social media.
Who has the time to do that shit though? Like, and not to knock anyone, if that's like your day job, fine. But
and
like,
you realize we are in a pandemic. Like, so many people lost their jobs, and they are fucking bored. Look at how many people went on OnlyFans. Look at how many people went to OnlyFans. And I say people because it's men, women doing OnlyFans. It's not just women. It's not just men. It's everybody. And they are marketing the fuck out of themselves.
Should I get on OnlyFans? I've heard a lot about that. Apparently people are doing great.
Well, well, I know quite a few people that are on there, and having to market yourself with such a big fish. I mean, to try and make a big fish in a small ass pond, it's not possible because it's a gigantic fucking ocean, and you've got millions and millions of people on this fucking thing.
I think we should turn the page on that conversation.
I mean,
but no, I agree. People are fucking bored, man. People are so unbelievably bored. But you know, there's the other side of the spectrum with the pandemic, dude. People are, I mean, mentally, people are fucking losing it. People are truly losing it.
So let me dial back a little bit. You know, we were talking about the pandemic. You know, our overview is goals. You know, so here we are in this fucking completely desolate situation. You know, nobody can get head from tails. Like, we don't know what's going on, how things are going to end up. So how the fuck do you create goals? Like, what is there to look forward to? You know, and that sounds like a negative. That sounds like a negative term, but I'm not meaning it in a negative way. Like, what do we have to look forward? And, you know, how would you go about creating some goals in such a fucked up situation that's so unpredictable?
You know, the pandemic in and of itself, make no mistake, it's bad. Okay, it's bad. I don't care if you believe in it or you don't. It's fucking bad, man. It's just bad. And mentally, that has really hurt people because you're home a lot. You don't have a whole lot going on. And it's a great question. What do you have to look forward to? I've always thought if you don't like your circumstances, you have all the power to change your circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so that's why I've never been like a victim or any of that bullshit. No one's a victim. You're a victim to yourself if that's how you think about it. But and I've been a victim to myself, trust me.
I'm aware.
But yeah, you know, you have to give yourself stuff to look forward to, man. Because if you wake up every day and you don't really believe in anything or have anything to look forward to, I mean, what a dim life you will live. And I don't think people are meant to be on this planet, dude. It may sound very stupid, but I don't think people are born to just be like, just exist. You're not here to just exist, dude. You're here to fucking shine your light on someone else's, I think in someone else's life in some way. Because it can be a very dim world if you have nothing to look forward to. You're not planning on doing anything or changing anything. Like, I can't imagine living like that. It would make my skin crawl if I didn't have like a set of goals in my head, even though my goals are totally unrealistic for the most part. You need shit to look forward to.
Well, I mean, do. Let me go into it, you know, because what do you have to look forward to? Here's what you have to look forward to, Ant. You decided to create a fucking business during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Yes, like, I did.
The odds are stacked against you. But here you are. You're doing it. Here we are doing a fucking podcast because it's what we want to do. These are our goals. This is what we have to look forward to. We're creating our own reality and we're creating our own perception.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Ira. I think that's great. Because we can sit here and we talked about the podcast and stuff, but I'm a doer, okay? By nature, I'm a doer. I want to do it. Like, when I'm ready to do something, I have to do it. It will drive me nuts if I don't handle it or do it. You know, we kind of dragged our feet a little bit, but we were like, you know, for anyone that's even remotely thinking about any goal, but for us, the podcast, we were just like, oh, this equipment, it's expensive. Are we really going to stick with it? Like, what's going to happen? Like, you know, there's so many things that are up in the air, dude. And what happened? One day I was just like, dude, it was like, life does not happen to you. It happens for you. I cannot say how adamant.
That's such a great term. I love that term.
Oh, I fucking love that. Life is continuously happening for you. And we went on live with Carlos out one night, and I got off live. It was very nonchalant. I got off live, and what I do? I called you. I'm like, dude, what are we doing?
This is what we need to do.
Yeah, we
absolutely what you did. Like, it wasn't even 30 seconds after the fucking thing.
Oh, I couldn't dial your fucking number fast enough. I was like, we are done fucking dragging our feet. We are going to do this. We don't know what we're doing. I mean, I had no idea. I just thought, wow, doing a live was like really simple. And we just did it. And life kind of brought us to that point because, you know, it was on my mind. and I seen an opportunity, and I was like, oh my God, this makes total sense. Like, let's fucking do it. And that's exactly how it played out. How cool.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. And
Seriously.
but here's the thing. Here's how other lives layered into, us being here. Your light bulb went off, due to a situation that you were involved in with Carlos.
Yeah.
And you had that bing, and then you gave me a call. And the thing is, I had the same thought during the same thing. Like, why don't we do this?
Yeah.
And right when you called me, we both said pretty much the same thing at the same fucking time. And it was like, almost like telepathy.
Dude, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I was like, holy shit, I gotta call Ira. And that's what I did, because I was like, how did I not see this? Like, how could something be directly in my face and I could never fucking see it? And life did something magical for the both of us and said, hey, asshole, right here, come to your podcast. Yeah, both of us. It said, come to your podcast over here. And I think that's really cool, man, because life is continuously happening for people. And I think some people are just, I don't know, unmotivated by that idea. I don't know. I try to be intimate with the fact that everything happens for a reason. Maybe that's just like how I convince myself, like, oh, life isn't so bad.
Well, I mean, being that we're on the topic of people, there's 3 types of people in the world. You got people that make shit happen. You got people that watch shit happen. You got people that don't have a fucking clue of what's going on around them. And that's the 3 types of people that you have. And, with me and you, we're obviously the people that make shit happen. We're fucking sick and tired of sitting on our ass, watching all this shit go on around us. And why can't we? Why the fuck can't we?
Yeah, no, I think that's great, man, because I think, we want to make a difference, and that's really important. And I think for people that are driven, they'll make that difference. It just, you have to seriously persevere, and you can literally do anything. People don't realize that. Like, if for anyone watching, like now or in 15 years they find this video, you can literally do anything you want to do. Like, you can. It's very much so fucking possible. I never thought I would do a lot of things in life. I promise you, everything I thought I would never do, I've done. Whether it was good or bad, I've done it. And it's funny looking back, because, like, we spend literally all of our days in our life thinking about the future and thinking about the past, but it's really important to focus on really what's important, the moments that are right fucking in front of you.
Focus on the present.
Yeah, man. Could you imagine, like, looking back in 50 years and going, like, whoa, where'd that time go? You have, like, you've just kind of been going through the motions for so long. Like, I think it's really important. Like, again, people have those goals or some kind of idea of what they want out of themselves. You need to expect something from yourself, because life is meant to be lived. You shouldn't be surviving your way or just going through the motions and being okay with that, because so many people are so talented in so many ways, they don't even know it.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, a lot of people, they're not even in touch with themselves. They don't even realize what their talents are. They don't realize what their abilities are, and
why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, this is going to have to go back to, levels. Like, you have people that are in touch. Then you have people that are just completely out of touch. Personalities. Like, everybody's personality is different. How they perceive things, how they accept things, how, they interpret them. And I think interpretation is very important, to how you relay it back out. And with people, like, honestly, I don't know how somebody just gets so out of touch with themselves. But a lot more times I'm finding myself asking, was this person ever in touch? Like, did they ever have a fucking clue? And, and my answer has to be no. Because if people did have a clue, why are you allowing yourself to be stuck? Why are you just staying right in the mud? You know, why are you bitching and complaining about a bad situation when you have the power to fucking change what's right around you?
Yeah, I think you hit that right on the money. You could literally, and it goes back to what I said to you earlier. You know, as far as pet peeves, everyone I looked at today was miserable for some reason. Like everyone just looked so miserable. By this point in the day, I'm like, you know, I'm like, holy crap! Like everyone I looked at today was miserable. Not like just having a bad day. I think like they were truly, like, you could see it was all over their face. They were miserable. And you know, halfway through the day, I'm like, how? Like, why? Like, okay, maybe something happened. I get that, and I emphasize if something did happen,
Mm.
but how the hell is it possible that so many people are you're just so miserable? Like when I'm miserable, it like I can't even enjoy being miserable because I don't enjoy it. I don't want to be miserable. I don't like that feeling, and I will do everything to get away from that feeling. Everything.
Well, I mean, it's funny you bring that up because, you know, a lot of times I don't even voice some of these things just due to, because I know I create like a lot of my own hysteria. But I really felt like, you know, people were fucking miserable today because and here's the thing, I hate food shopping. I hate going to this fucking shop right in Ledgewood. I
Sure.
fucking hate it. Like, I literally feel like I'm preparing for the fucking Walking Dead. Like, you laugh. I'm dead fucking serious. Like, these people try to fucking kill you with their shopping carts. And they have these scowls on their face. And God forbid you look at them wrong. You know, you don't know what's going to come flying at your head. Like, I have to get my dad, and I tell him, Dad, get the chainsaw, get the spike bat. You know, we're going. And he was like, what do you mean we're going? Like, Pop, we're going food shopping. He was like, okay, well, what do we need the spike bat for? I was like, oh, you know.
Sounds like you're preparing for war to go to ShopRite.
No, exactly what it is. And we get into ShopRite, my dad's just like, what the fuck? Getting all pissed off at people getting in his way. He's ready for war. You know, and now my anxiety shoots through the roof because I don't know if he's going to tweak out on somebody or they're going to say some slick shit to my dad, and then I'm going to have to whoop their ass and end up back in fucking prison. You know, nobody talks to my dad like that but me.
Okay, gotcha. Nobody but you gets to talk like an asshole to. Gotcha. Duly noted. Duly noted.
No, but I mean, the thing is, though, I definitely felt that with people as well, and I've been feeling it a lot. And here's the thing. I mean, I work in retail. I mean, I work with GNC. I have a revolving door of different customers. Like, you know, you had past employment with GNC, so you know how many different types of people, walks of life, cultures come through those doors. But since this pandemic started, I've definitely been seeing a major shift in just people's overall attitudes. And, you know, I strike up conversations with people all the time, especially the people that look like they're in a fucked up mood that want absolutely nothing to do with me. I purposely talk to them. And the reason being is because now I make it my personal goal to make them have 5 or 10 minutes, like, where they're not in a bad mood, you know, where they're not focused on what has them so fucked up, you know. So just something as simple as small conversation can change a person's whole day.
That's tough though, because I think so many people just get up in the morning and like it's impossible for someone like the world doesn't revolve around you because so many people wake up in the morning, especially since the pandemic, dude. You know, it's fucked with people mentally. It's fucked with me. How could someone focus on what's going on around them? Because all we do from the minute we get up is we're thinking about ourselves. We're literally thinking about ourselves, like, oh my God, I have a bill to pay, or oh my God, I have to do this, or oh my God, you know. So even just like a small conversation, it could be small talk, who cares? There's nothing better in this world than shooting the shit. I love shooting the shit. I think it's great. I could sit here and talk all day, right? I mean, God only knows how much I could talk to you, but to just or remind someone else, like, I think if the world did a better job at not thinking about ourselves and thought about the people around us, right? And they are miserable, right? The people I've encountered today, but like, did their dad die, or did they lose their job, or is their fucking house, you know, being sold off or going into foreclosure? Like, you have to think about those things.
Well,
like,
you never know when somebody's going through something. You never know.
Yes. And dude, I've been through some shit. So the last thing I want is someone to make my matters worse when I'm having a bad day. That will crush me. To kick me while I'm down, that is so fucked up. If someone does that, that is so not right to kick a person while they're down. So like, yeah, pet peeves. People have been miserable today, but I'm very open to the fact that everyone has a different shit going on in life, and maybe they truly had the worst day of their life, and I just by chance seen all the bad ones today, you know, like, but I'm not going to make matters worse. And just like you said, working in retail, you are seeing such a huge group of people every single day, you know, from every walk of life. And if they walk in miserable, I used to love that. Like, come into my store, let's talk. Like, yeah, you're miserable. You probably don't want to be here. You don't realize that I probably don't want to be here either. But let's talk and we'll both get our minds off of things and maybe just kind of detach from the idea of that misery for a few minutes, even if that's all it is.
I mean, and it's like when, like I said, you know, working in retail, you know, and I make it a personal goal when I see somebody that's in a fucked up mood, you know, I make it a personal goal to talk with them to try and change that. And dude, I can't tell you how many times I've been told, get the fuck out of my face. And do I listen? No. Because I didn't achieve my goal.
I was there with you, training you, buddy.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah, plenty of people tell me to go F myself. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go do that while you do whatever. Because, like, yeah, people are just messed up, man. And, you know, it costs nothing to be a good person. It literally does not cost you shit to be nice to people. It doesn't cost you shit to have a fucking heart.
It takes more energy to be negative than it does to be positive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm not saying like gaudy, like over the top, nice to people. Just it costs
Kindness.
nothing. Yeah, just be fucking nice. Like I'm an asshole.
Holding a door open for a lady, you know, or stepping out of the way and letting an old person go first. You know, it's just little acts of kindness. And here's the thing, little acts of kindness can fucking change your whole day because you don't know how somebody's going to respond to that. And this has happened to me so many times because I take, you know, great care of knowing when I'm in a bad mood, and it's very visible on my face. People can fucking tell. And, you know, but I always try to not forget who I am, and I try to be kind. Even the people that don't fucking deserve it, I try to be kind. And, you know, a number of times I've done some kind things, and I've had people come back to me, be like, look, I can tell you're in a bad mood, and I really appreciate, you know, you just simply saying, please, thank you, and then just going above and beyond the scope of what you're supposed to be doing, you know, just to make it a little better for me. You know, it's something, like I said, something so simple as holding open a door, or, you know, somebody, they're buying fucking 5 cases of lean shakes. I'll carry them out to their goddamn car. I don't care. You know, that's just me being me, you know, and small little acts of kindness, you know, can basically resonate to somebody else, and then their energy transfers into you. And guess what? Your day can fucking change, and you can be in a better mood, and it happens all the time to me. And so anybody tries to argue with me like that's a bunch of bullshit, we can fight.
Well, no fighting, Ira.
Oh no, I'd like to fight.
No, the idea is to keep you out of prison.
We'll do it the right way. We'll make it legal. We'll get in the octagon.
Ira, I'm not gonna watch you smack around somebody. Okay, that's just not fair.
The first rule of Fight Club is what?
Yeah. You already broke the first rule. You're talking about it.
Absolutely.
It's not me. But yeah, man, I think small acts of kindness, again, compound over time. And a million people in the world are probably doing a podcast saying, yeah, be kind. But it is such bullshit coming out of their mouths because they probably get off their podcast and they like walk up to their wife and they're like, fuck you. Like, and the kids like, go to hell. Like, you know, and they kick their dog around or whatever. They're just not a nice person. But for me, man, the one thing that I always do, like I've done it for years. It's something I feel really good about, and I don't tell everyone about it. Because when you're being kind, like I like the people that are like, they take pictures with like homeless people and they're like, hey, I'm out helping this homeless guy today.
Yeah, they want to be recognized.
Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that is not how you do that. So I'm not open to sharing all of my good deeds in the world. Sometimes I do because I'm like, yeah, like I only feel so good about this. Let me put it onto the internet so the internet can make me feel better with hearts and likes and things like that and nice comments. Um, but I very often, I've done it for years. I'll pay a person's toll on the parkway when I'm driving. So I'll pay
Oh,
my
I love
toll.
doing this.
Yeah, I'll pay my toll and then I'll pay the person behind me. And um, I don't know why, man. I drive away every time I do it. It doesn't matter where I am, who I'm with, who's driving. I pay that second toll, and I feel like the fucking man. Like I feel like a hero that day. I'm like, I drive away like I just saved someone's life. Like I just paid their
It's actually
toll.
funny. It's actually funny you brought that up because you remember the day that, I just randomly showed up at the American Dream Mall
Yes,
back March.
yes.
I had $100 on me, and I gave it to the toll booth lady, and I said, pay as many tolls behind me that this $100 will get.
No
That
shit.
and that that was because I'm not going to go into the backstory of how I got to that situation,
Sure.
but it was important for me because there was a journey that I went through that you were very privy to,
Yes,
and we might get onto that topic another day,
we will.
but from that journey, I went through a lot of shit. And so crossing the threshold of that toll booth just to get to the destination, that was like walking through a door, so and I felt it upon me, like I wanted to do something good.
Yeah.
One of the first things coming back into New Jersey, I want to do something good. And so I paid, I don't know how many people's tolls I paid,
How cool
but
is that though,
quite a
man?
few.
Yeah, like, and that's the shit I eat up. Like, I think, and again, it costs $0. And I say it to a lot of people, and I think they look at me like maybe I'm nuts. Um, but it costs $0 to be that person. You don't have to look. You don't have to take $100 into it, but like, you could do
I had $100
plenty.
bill.
Yeah, you could do plenty of shit inside of a day to just change the world around you. And dude, that's why you're put here. That's why we are fucking born to change the world around us. Because if we just wake up and go through the motions, and we are so content with that. Nothing against people like that, because people can do that. That is totally okay. But like, you need to be able to shine this light inside of you to the world, because that's why you're fucking here, man. I mean, in my eyes, if you're not doing something like that, then why? Why just exist? That's no fun, dude. That is no fun. I want to be challenged. I want to mess things up all the time. I just said to Nina the other day, like we were talking about something I won't get into, but I just pretty much said to her, own it. I don't care if you fuck it up. Just do it. Enjoy it. It's your thing. It's not my thing for a reason. For a reason, it's not my thing. And for anyone that doesn't know, I work with Nina very closely with Whiteboard Worthy, the brand that we will be launching by the end of the year. Here, yay! But I want people to own who they are, whatever that is, and me and Nina were talking about something, and we're always going back and forth. But take risks and fuck things up, and be okay with that, because you can't control the world around you. You got to just let it happen. Like, you just have to.
So let me ask you a question, right? So now with the launch for
What's up?
Whiteboard Worthy, what are your goals? What are the goals that you have in mind?
Oh, Whiteboard Worthy is so exciting for me. I don't know if you want me to get into that right now. Do you?
Let's get into it.
So,
I mean, we don't have to
what
go completely down the rabbit hole, but what are your goals to it?
I want Whiteboard Worthy to be, again, like this podcast, community. I want it to be for the people, and that's really hard to create a business. For anyone that has a business that's for the people, I just want you to know it's fucking hard. It's really hard, because you still have to be a business owner, and you have to be lucrative. You have to make money, and you have to run a business, essentially. Um, but Whiteboard Worthy it's going to be all about self-care, man. Any of our designs, our entire business model is about family. It's about connections. And my goals for that, man, are very simple. Make the biggest possible impact in the world, and have a lot of fucking people that are going to help me do that. Because, like, I work with Nina, and Nina's incredible. I can't say enough good things. Um, and it's really important to have people like that around, because you know, they'll make your life a lot easier, a lot better, and a really good time. Um, but I want Whiteboard Worthy to make a difference, man. That's what it's about. You know, we want to donate. We want to give back some profits, if you know, as soon as we can. We want to donate to something that we hold close to home to us. Even something that maybe, okay, I'll say, we were thinking for anyone that's like using tags or anything for the Whiteboard Worthy, we'll have an account just for to send people money to buy a coffee or tea or whatever. And it's something, it's small, but you know, we want it to always be super hyper focused around the personalization of this business. That is so important, because, you know, statistically, you could look at it all day. When a business makes it very personal for a person, you're going to have that customer for life. It's just simple, simple big business economics, if you will. But ideally, you know, the goals around that change daily, man. I didn't wake up one day with like the blueprint to, hey, Ant, this is how you're going to start a business and it's going to be perfect. And because it's not, and there's a lot of things that get fucked up. And
well, I mean, your first run, you know, with no cap mask.
Great example. No cap masks was, it did not, I promise you, okay? I promise anybody that sees no cap masks, it did not go remotely close to anywhere I had imagined in my brain.
But the takeaway though is you know, where the downslope,
Yeah.
all those little mistakes that you made, you know,
I made a lot.
It's preparing you now. You know, the things you know now, if you
Yeah.
knew them then, you know, obviously circumstances would be different. But the thing is, though, is you had to go through that to get here.
Thank God I did, because I wouldn't have been prepared for Whiteboard Worthy. And Whiteboard Worthy, for anyone that doesn't know, clothes is always been something I've been really passionate about, although I suck. I don't really know how to dress most days, and I wear the same shit all the time.
And your loafers.
I love
See?
got them right here, baby.
Got them on.
The loafers, forever and always, Ira, always. Sperry's, I've had them for years. Thank God for the loafers, but you know, no cap mask didn't go as planned at all. But like, I am going to do incredible in the future because of the mistakes I made with no cap masks. And granted, it cost me a lot of money to make those mistakes, which leads to bigger fucking problems. But I never stopped. I never gave up. I was so over the top in my head. Like, I was like, this is going to happen. This is going to work. We're going to do this. And, you know, to say it shit the bed would be putting it mildly. You know, it didn't go as planned. And I absorbed that idea. I love that. Who cares? It didn't go as planned. Like, no one gave you the answers to do it, but it's so important that you just get into it. And I had talked about a business for so many years that I was like, you know, after my divorce, I was like, I'm starting a business. I'm going to be the man. I'm going to do this. And I'm just going to do it. I'm done saying tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get to it next month. I'll get to it next year. I'll get to it next year. Because again, back to where we started. We spend every day making these deals with ourselves in our head. And it's just bullshit to convince us like it makes sense. So like, just do it, you know? Just fucking make it happen. And I did it with no cap masks. And it didn't go as planned, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, I mean, shit happens, you know, but like you're saying, you wouldn't have it any other way because, you know, you appreciate the experience. You're not focusing on the negative aspect of, you know, that part of the business, you know, tanking. You know, you're focusing on the glass half full. What did you take away from that experience and how are you going to apply it now, what you know, to, you know, the next level where with Whiteboard Worthy?
Yeah. And I certainly don't know everything, but, you know, I don't want anyone to think like, oh, he, you know, he fucked up and he thinks he knows all. Like, no, but I make mistakes daily, dude. And, you know, I learn very differently. So sometimes I make mistakes a lot because I wasn't just like born intelligent. So like where I make up for that is my over the top work ethic. I will fucking work. I will work and work and work and work and work. And the older I get, the worse that gets. I enjoy sitting down at my laptop and doing research. I enjoy doing these things. It's not work to me. That's why I can sit at a laptop for fucking 16 hours because I'm pursuing something that is truly meaningful to me. And, I think that's really important, dude. People need to have that,
Yeah, well, I mean, I definitely agree with that. I struggle with sitting down with fucking laptop.
Why? Why do you
I
struggle?
you want me to chalk it up to? I'm gonna chalk it up to my ADHD.
Okay.
I get into something and then I'll shortly lose my attention span. But
But I'm the same way, dude.
but actually, TikTok, I don't know what the hell TikTok does, but it literally stimulates me in such a fucking way that I cannot get off of it. Now, if I could take that same fucking focus and apply it to some other shit that's more beneficial,
Yes.
dude, I would be the richest guy in the fucking world.
I know. Too bad you'll never
Actually,
do
I
that,
am
though.
the richest guy in the fucking world. I really am.
Yes, you are. You are rich at heart, Ira. That's what
There we go.
counts. I got you, baby. No sweat.
I mean, here's
Rich
the thing,
at
though.
heart.
Like, when it comes to life, dude, I couldn't have to want any more than what I have. Everything I have right now, and I say right now because each day I keep gaining and gaining and gaining. That makes me the richest man in the world.
Like, because, please, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say, but that's why I
Oh,
said
so you're just bouncing it on to me.
Well, because I knew as soon as I cut you off, you didn't know what the fuck you were saying either. So I was like, okay.
Well, so here's the synchronicity. And I made that word up.
Thank you. But yeah, man, it is, I don't even know where you were. I totally lost my train of thought. Totally.
Yeah, so did I.
Wow. We are on the money.
We are.
This is on blast bloopers. You're seeing it first. I stare at the ground and shut my eyes while I scramble for whatever the hell I was thinking.
See, and here's the thing: we need to let everybody know we're not fucking professionals. We're just fucking average Joes.
Yeah, I love the podcast hour because with Whiteboard Worthy, I have to be very serious. There's things that I have to take very seriously.
How serious?
Very serious.
All right, great. You're gonna hire me, and I'm gonna be your hitman.
No, we're not quite there. We don't need that.
Okay.
We'll revisit that maybe in the future, but
yes.
I have to take things seriously because it's my life. It is my fucking life. Like if I don't take it seriously, like that's my life just going down the drain. And then I get on the On Blast podcast and I can sit here and challenge myself to like have a good time. Like this is my time. This is where I unload and get my thoughts out and I truly hope that helps other people because I think sometimes people just need to know they're not alone.
That's very important, and that actually hits home, because how many times have I called you, just because I was in a fucking weird place and it's just, it just felt good that you picked up the phone. Like, you're there, I care.
Yeah, it's really important that people know they're not alone. And like you could say, don't be a bitch, like yada, yada, yada. But like, we've all been at a point and
dude, loneliness is a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, loneliness will get you, man. It kicks hard. When you're down, it'll keep kicking and it'll just keep coming for you. And that will eat at a person. But I think people really need to know, like, you're not alone. You never are. Like you should always feel like you have somebody or something, or you're connected in some way. Because we all have bad days, dude. And I hope for the rest of my life that if I have a bad day, I hope the people I interact with know I'm having a bad day and remember, like, hey, I had a bad day last week, and Ant was having a bad day the same day as me, but he was there for me. So now it's my time to be there for him. I think that's really important. Like, and I mainly come to that idea and that general consensus because I was reading Matthew McConaughey's new book. It's called Green Lights. I
Okay.
definitely told you about it.
Yes, you did.
I've listened to it like probably 17 times now because I'm like, I don't know why I don't retain information. It just
All right,
doesn't
so
stay.
let me stop you there real quick. So
Okay.
our viewers understand. Now, you're talking about audiobooks. You prefer audiobooks over reading books.
Yes, I prefer audio over reading. Definitely. Um, and I don't retain information the same as everyone I've ever met. I've always retained information very differently. So, and I understand that about myself. I was never good at school and shit like that. And I think that's actually one of my biggest strengths, because that's what makes me work my balls off. Because I want to remember these things. But anyway, totally off topic, geez. Um, Matthew McConaughey, Green Lights, incredible book for anyone that is doing some soul searching or feels like they could, use a little kick in the ass. Um, I'm not huge into books. I've got like 17 books started right now, but Matthew McConaughey's I've listened to a few times, and he talks about like going and to this like monk sanctuary, like
Okay.
somewhere out west, and he took this long walk with this monk who didn't say a word the entire time, did not acknowledge him, did not say shit. Matthew McConaughey was going through some deep stuff. He was having some weird dreams, and like you would never think a big celebrity like that dealt with some of the things he had going on, but
Right, right.
we're all human. So he's talking to this monk, and by the end of it, um, Matthew McConaughey's looking at the monk like, well, what do you think? Like, well, I just talked for 5 hours. Like, what do you think about this? Um, and the monk looked at him and said, me too. That was it. Because Matthew McConaughey was complaining about his life and yada, yada, yada. And the monk just said, me too. And essentially, that brings us to sometimes you just have to know you're not alone, right? It is so important to know you're not alone with shit. It doesn't matter who you are, how big or small you think you are. And that like was something that really stuck with me out in that book, because Matthew McConaughey talks about like some weird things in that book. But if you
He
look,
might speak some weird things though, but look, that man is on a whole nother planet. And I don't mean that in a weird way. I mean that like because he's fucking sharp. This
yes,
guy, this guy is sharp. If you ever watch any of his fucking public speakings or any of his seminars, like you would really like he's like the next fucking Tim Robbins.
yeah,
You
he's
know, he has a powerful presence. Like if you thought he did it well in movies, dude, his fucking personal his speaking events and seminars and shit, dude, they're so fucking powerful. They're so impactful. And the thing is
yeah,
though, is he's not selling you bullshit.
yeah,
He's not acting. He's being Matthew fucking McConaughey. You know,
yeah,
and I tip my hat to him because, you know, and then I thank you for this because you put me onto a few of his seminars and they were impactful to me, you know, and he's kind of got his own philosophy. And I'm
uh-huh,
big on philosophies. I love fucking learning new shit. I love
yeah,
learning new ways, taking other things that people do and apply it to myself and see if I make it my thing.
yeah,
And and then Matthew McConaughey, here's a man, you know, that has been through some shit. You know, he's probably been through more shit than he talks about, you know, to get where he's at. But the thing is, though,
yeah,
is he doesn't let it pull him back. He doesn't allow it to keep him stuck. And though he might have went and, you know, spent 5 hours with a monk because, you know, he needed guidance and he was lost on something, you know,
yeah.
really all he needed was just somebody to fucking listen.
Yeah, literally. That was it. I was like, I got to the end of that chapter and I was like, my head exploded. I was like, oh my God, this makes total sense. Like sometimes you just need someone to listen to you. And I try to always be that person, man. I always try to be the person that I always needed. And I never understood why no one fucking listened to me. Um,
I
and I
listened to
grew up,
you.
well, but I grew up and wanted to listen to other people. So it was something I never got, which is weird, but so I grew up to just want to listen to people because I don't want anyone to feel, people shouldn't feel alone. Okay, that's the bottom line. It's a shitty feeling. I remember back in November when I was, going through probably one of the darkest parts of my life. Um, I remember I was to the point where I literally took that trip to Nashville, Tennessee,
I remember
and
that.
I was by myself. I stayed at an Airbnb in someone's backyard, which was just immaculate, by the way. But I took that trip because truly it was like I had to go find myself. I had to. I didn't know what else to do. I was so lost and confused and felt so many different emotions I've never felt in my life. But I wanted to not feel like that. I think that is so important. And I wanted to be alone and I had to get alone. And I remember November 1st, I started to journal and that changed my life, dude. I wrote twice a day. Just so tenacious about the idea of journaling. Like it's like nauseating. But, it is really important that people don't feel alone and you shouldn't make people feel like shitty or anything like that.
Well, I mean, and what good does that do to bring somebody down? Because I know quite a few pessimistic type of people, and I unfortunately, they're still somewhat in my life, and
Yeah.
that like their viewpoint is to make somebody feel worse to make themselves feel better. Like I don't fucking get that shit.
There is a special place in hell for people like that. Oh
Like I
yeah.
just don't. I really
Oh
don't
yeah.
understand it. How are you going to make yourself feel better by beating somebody down? And this is where I need to flip the script on myself
Sure.
because I was that person 10, 15 years ago. Okay.
Mm,
But clearly, and I know this completely, I was a complete lost cause. I was a
yeah.
lost soul, and I had no direction. I had no motivation. My
Yeah.
motivation was destruction, and being so lost when I see people, you know, just bringing others down to make themselves feel better. I want to insert myself in their life, not just to analyze them, but more so to change that. So therefore, because there's something in there that they need to get in touch with. There's a
Maybe
part
they
of
can't help
themselves that
it.
they need to really work on. And no, they can't. I couldn't help it when I was younger either.
I
But
mean,
I had to find myself in order to change that.
yeah, if you can't compose yourself as a decent human being from the time you leave your house in the morning, then you should probably just go back home and stay there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Because the world doesn't need that BS. And I
and,
can't
and it keeps
imagine
happening. It's going on more and more each day. You know,
it's.
uh,
But you look at the other side of that, Ira. What's going on in these people's lives, and that's where you really have to think like what took them to, because everything you do is based off of habit, like literally almost 100% of your life are the habits that you have. So maybe you've gone your whole life of just like being this over the top asshole to people that like, could you imagine, 10 years of being a jerk to people? I say it all the time, you've got serious momentum. It's not going to change overnight, you know? It is not going to change overnight because you've already got 10 years in the books, dude. You've got 10 years of being a certain way that you cannot just like change at the flick of a switch. It's just not possible. What are you doing?
so I do you know the little heart button?
Yes.
All right, so I pressed it and it put my face on my face, and I pressed it again, it put my face on my face. So I kept on pressing it, and I'm having like little mini me's all flying all over the place. It was fucking cool. Sorry.
So no, don't apologize. So I think are we getting to our time? I mean, I could probably sit here and talk to you all
Actually, yeah,
night,
we're
but
at our time.
yeah. So just to recap, man, have some fucking goals, right? You are a good person. You need to share that with the world. You have to, right? Find a way to do it. Um, and you have to get out of your head, whatever that may be, or you have to get in touch with who you are and what you want that perception of you to be, and realize like you're not alone. Like you'll never be alone, and that's just the bottom line. Like I get it's a shitty feeling for a lot of people that have to deal with that feeling. Um, but I encourage everyone. anyone that's watching to always know that you have community. You'll always have community with the On Blast podcast. You'll always have it with Whiteboard Worthy. And I can almost guarantee you, if you message me or Ira or call us, we will take that. We will take that conversation.
Oh, you can guarantee I'm taking the conversation. Hey, you
Yes.
know I am. I
Yeah.
can't shut the fuck up.
Well, like I said at the beginning, Ira, I can shoot the shit all day. I don't mind. But that's why we have the On Blast podcast. So
Right.
I want to say thank you for everyone that's, chimed in. These podcasts will happen every Sunday. Ira, we were thinking about changing the time, right?
We're definitely discussing that. We were
Yeah.
looking to do at 6 p.m. Make it a little easier. It's not so late. Plus also it's before prime time TV shows, The Walking Dead and all that stuff.
Yeah. So we're going to move the podcast to 6 o'clock live, but you guys can watch all of our episodes anytime, as long as you want, over and over again. You can find those on our YouTube channel. If you can't find our YouTube channel, you're not looking. Okay?
Yeah.
Simple as that. It is everywhere.
Well, what's the name of it? Just tell everybody the YouTube channel name.
It's the On Blast podcast. I mean,
there you
look
go.
It up, type in episode 1, episode 2. You should be able to find it pretty easily. But yeah, I mean, we'll be back here next week, Ira. What are we thinking for next week? Any ideas?
Nah, not yet. Let's we'll have a little surprise in store.
Oh, we're gonna have a treat for next week's episode.
Oh, well, I'm gonna try and have us a treat.
It's always a treat. Always a treat talking to you, Ira. I hope you have a great week. We'll talk plenty of times throughout the week. But for our viewers, I hope everyone else has a great week, and hopefully, the podcast helped you or touched you in some way tonight. I enjoyed it. Had a good time. Always do. Ira, you got any final thoughts for anyone?
Oh, I mean, my final thoughts, I just want to let everybody know, I appreciate them sitting down, watching us, taking in, just overall, I appreciate you. I appreciate, everybody else around us that's tuning into us. I even appreciate our haters, because we're going to have haters.
You'll always have the naysayers.
But the thing is, though, is you guys are not alone. Just like we're not alone, we're here with you. So you tune in every week, we're right there with you. You have the little comment thing. Come on, chime in. Interact with us.
Yeah, for anyone that leaves comments, we read through them. We definitely see them. And before we go, Ira, just lastly, you just said it. The naysayers are totally welcomed. Anyone that hates us or loves us, you are totally welcome to chime in. This is a place for community. That is what is most important to us in making that impact. So until next week, 6 p.m., guys. In the meantime, you can see all of our episodes on YouTube. And that's all I got, Ira. It's been real, as always.
It has.